Hello and welcome to another night shift. My name is Yaziel and today we want to pick up where we left last time. And what we did is we put an item on the ground and we can click it and we get it recognized that it was picked up or at least touched. So today we want to pick it up and set it here into our inventory. And let's see how far we come. We may be even going all the way to moving the items. So let's get started with our scripts. So if we look on the script, we're going for the inventory manager. And in the inventory manager, we want to make a function. It's a public void pickup item. And we expect it to get two variables. One is the int for the item ID and a string for the back name. If you look back to the pickup item, you see we got an item ID and the back name here. So somehow we have to call this function, and that's quite easy. We're going here and telling find object of type. Since we only have one inventory manager, we're looking for that. And in the inventory manager, we are looking for the pickup item. And we just give the item ID and the back name. So when we did that, we could think about what we do with these items. Later on, we maybe tell the server to have a counter to respawn it or something like that. In the moment, we just destroy the object. So we're going to destroy object this dot game object, and we wait, let's say, tenths of a second. So when we pick the item up, we get still this message. We could comment that out, but for debugging it's not too bad to have that. And then we find the object inventory manager and pick up and use the function pickup item and give these both variables in there. So back to the inventory manager. Let's first create these function. And this function finds if in the inventory database or if an item is in the inventory database. For example, if we put in like 5, we look into the inventory database if there is an item with the ID 5. If we doing stuff like give in a 0 here, then it looks for an empty spot. Since in empty spots there is no item ID in there, so we got an inventory item empty spot, so where no item is. So let's open that, and it's not too hard. We just going and create a new item, a new inventory item, sorry, and set that to null. And then we scrolling through the inventory, and when we are there on every eye, we check if the item ID is equal to item ID. So we look in our item, and is the item ID equal to the item ID we get or we got here, and when we called the function. And if we found something, we give back the item in the item we created here and bail out of the function, or for the for out of the for loop, and we return the item ID, the item. So basically, just we scroll through until we find one item, and then we break here and return the item we found. Okay, that's a function we need later on in these pickup. So in the pickup, we create an item and we call it item in database. So we just look for the item in the item database, not in the item inventory database, just we need the main item. Then we go and create a new inventory item. And in the new inventory item, we set everything to the values we need to have to create one item. So, for example, we need the player, we need the item ID, we need the stack size, and we need the back name, of course. Then, when we have these items, we going and create an inventory item or get the reference to the inventory item database, and we look in the dictionary for the inventory database with the name backname. So just scrolling through the dictionary and find the database with the name, in our case, what was it, main inventory. So that's everything we have to prepare. We have an item, we have a new item, and we have the database. Then we have to see if the item is stackable. And since we have the item already here in item in database, we know if it's stackable or not. And if it's true, we're going to do something. And what we're going to do is we look in our database for the item ID. So we just look if there is an item with the item ID we got above. And if it's the case, we gonna check if the item amount is bigger than 0 and the item amount from our item and the new item amount together is lower than the max stack size. So we just add them and see if it's lower than the max stack size, and if it's the case, we just add the item and going for save item inventory. So these item save item, we're gonna go on top here and just open that for a sec. The save item is just an easy thing. We just go here using a darkroot writer and create a writer and just put in everything we know and send that to our server. In the last video we prepared the item plugin, and the item plugin knows what to do with it. Just again, remember you have to have the same order here than in your item plugin. Okay, and then what's going on? Okay, and then after we check these, it could be that, for example, we have my inventory item amount of 85 or something, and the new item has an amount from 50, then it would be bigger than the item max stack size, which maybe is 99 or whatever. And if that's the case, we just find an empty spot and save the stuff there. That's still to do is what happens if we have an overflow, and what happens if we have a stack with 99, and after that we have a stack with 0 or with 10 items. So we have to basically handle the second stack in the inventory. But for now, we're just going and find an empty spot. So that's find item in inventory database with the item ID 0 in our database. And then we are going to get the my inventory empty dot slot to the new item dot slot and save the item new item. So that's the two cases here. And the next case, if these inventory item is stackable, but it is null. So if it's null, we just generate an inventory item and find an empty spot again and give the slot number to our new item and save our new item. And the next case is what happens if this item is not stackable at all. So we're going and have an else tree here. And if it's not stackable at all, it's just easy. We're going to make a new item again. So let's see, that should work like a GIF. Let's see, save it. And we're going here. And hopefully Unity is ready. Okay. So we could see these stuff comes out of the database, and if we click here, it went there. So let's stop that and drop a few more items so we can see more. And a few more items, we just go into the scene, start scene, world. Let's go for item mana position, there it is. And let's drop a few more. And there are here, there it is. Put in the X down here. And just rotate it a little bit. So just here. So we clean up that again. So it's all together. And we go back to our login scene. Yeah, we saved that. And going for the login again. 2. We see there are the items, and we see here is an 8. Oh, it does nothing. Okay, we have some problems. That worked. 47, 48, and the X picked up also. So we somehow got a problem here with the health jar. That could maybe a problem here. Here it is. It's the stack size. We have to save that, of course. The stack size is 1. If it's 0 and we compare against the stack size, it's nothing there. So save and going again. there are the items. It picked up, and here you go, 8 to 9 to 10 to 50. So, and now you tell me, what the heck is wrong with you, Yaziel? I don't see a number at all. Yeah, that's true, because we forgot a very important thing. We forgot to extend our item with another text. And you just, let's stop that. You just go here, click your item, and create an UI text field. And in the UI text field, let's go there, let's delete that. I'm going here and show you that in the UI text field you just position it. So I have it on the edge here, so you're going for Shift Alt and click here. Then you define the width and height of these item or of these text field. 24 works for me. I don't know if it works for you, but just check it out. And I had a font size of 20, and I have the alignment to the right side and to the bottom. And in color here, a little yellow, whatever it is. Important is you have nothing here in the text, since when we have an item which is not stackable, that there is nothing in there. So when you have that, be sure you apply, click on your item and apply that, so your prefab is updated also. And next we have to do is we have to extend our slot script here, because we have to fill that. So we just move into our slot script, and you remember we did everything here, spawning the item and stuff like that, and creating a game object. And after we did that, we're gonna check if it's stackable. So we just go into the item database, item ID, inventory dot item, slot ID, item ID, stackable. And if that's true, we going to find our text field, and the text field we just fill up with the item amount. And so it's just text, item amount is equal to item game object dot get component in children text. So we check here for the game object text, and then in the then we write into the text the amount. So we're going for the inventory database item slot ID dot amount dot toString. So if there in the amount is a 10 or whatever, we write the 10 down here. So that's the extension for showing the stackable. And when you have that, it should be running. So you should see the numbers. 22 login, and we're going there. And also, if you remember, we got here up to 50 in the last video, so you know it's saved in the database, and so everything works there also. Just click on it, 11, 12, 51, 52, and we pick up another X. Of course, this is still for the single player, so the multiplayer won't see that at all. But that is on the way when we are ready with the spawn machine, which is coming, I think, after we finish the inventory, especially when we finish the character screen where you have a weapon or armor on your character. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, as always, leave a like. If you like it even more, just hit the subscribe button. I would be more than thankful if you would do that. So see you again in the next video, where we're going to make the movement in the inventory. Bye bye.